Experience for yourself the pain-relieving comfort, balance, and support of Good Feet. In Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
KHTK AM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your home for the Sacramento Kings.
It's Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Chris Verlad with your Sactown Sports headlines. Sacramento Kings are now second in the Western Conference after the Lakers' 112-103 win over the Memphis Grizzlies last night. Kings are currently tied with the Grizzlies with 38 wins and 26 losses. For more information on the Kings playoff race, check out Kings insider Frankie Cardicelli's piece on the Kings' path to the playoffs on SactownSports.com. Baltimore Ravens have franchise-tagged quarterback Lamar Jackson after neither side could come to an agreement on a long-term contract. If you want to know more about the franchise tax news, check out Emil Fregosa on SactownSports.com. And now it's time for Chris and Company.
He's born in Sacramento. He's raised in Sacramento.
And now he takes over the airwaves in Sacramento.
It's Chris and Company with Sacramento's Chris Watkins
On Sactown Sports.
Yes, sir. Welcome. Happy Wednesday to all out there. Chris and Company. I don't know if that Jeezy put on will ever not hit. Right now, that is my favorite thing about this show, and I'm so glad that it's at the beginning because it definitely sets the tone, gets me hyped. And today is a day for hype, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. The Lake Show. How about that? The only time I think in my life, I hope that I will ever root for the Los Angeles Lakers that hard. It felt weird. It really did feel very, very strange at moments last night. I caught myself yelling Lake Show a couple times. I found myself getting mad at Anthony Davis a couple times for taking some jump shots. I really feel like I'm starting to embrace. You know, my favorite football team is the Minnesota Vikings, and they got the purple and yellow already. So you know, it's kind of already in my blood a little. But you know, let's hope to not do that again. But very importantly, the Los Angeles Lakers last night were working for the Sacramento Kings as a secret agent, and they defeated the Memphis Grizzlies by a score of 112-103 on TNT last night. A national television audience got to witness the Sacramento Kings moving up to number 2 in the Western Conference. Holy smokes. We might, sheesh. I thought, I'm ready to get that finger on the dump button because I cannot believe that we are where we are sitting right now. Who would have thought? I don't think any single human out there would have thought that there's even a chance, even in the first week of the season, that this team ever would have been sniffing anywhere near this spot in the playoffs right now. The number 2 seed in the West, and we are 65 games plus in. Wow. Anthony Davis last night put up one heck of a performance, 30 points, 22 rebounds on 11 of 17 from the floor. No brawn, no problem. Didn't matter. That's the best. That might be the best performance by a King this season. 30 points, 22 boards. That man was secretly working for us. Very much rivals. I see Jay Mars in there. Jay, you remember Drew Gooden's one game, his 12-point, 13 rebound performance? Right there, AD and Drew Gooden, the best single game Sacramento King tenures of all time. Of all time. What a performance from Anthony Davis when his team, his real team, needed it most. AD stepped up. We love that. We love to see it. Love it. And now we're feeling good. I don't know if this might be the best day in Sacramento Kings history in the past 16 years. I mean, this is really like a really momentous day. Who would have thought that we would have been here? Absolutely insane. But now that we're here, we got to keep this spot. And I don't know if it's fitting or if it's terrible that the Kings now find themselves in probably the toughest 3-game stretch of the season. We're on Thursday on national TV on TNT as the number 2 seed in the West. They're going to host the New York Knicks at Golden One Center. And the Knicks lost last night, but before they lost to the Charlotte Hornets, one of the worst teams in the NBA, which honestly they just shouldn't have lost last night. They had a 45-point second quarter and then just blew it down the stretch. But the Knicks before that game were on a 9-game winning streak. So the Kings, just because they lost, it's almost probably worse for the Kings that the Knicks got that loss out of the way. But they play the Knicks on Thursday, play the Suns. Kevin Durant now led Suns on Saturday. The Suns are 3-0 since Kevin Durant has started to suit up. They're 2-0 against the Kings this season, so those games are crucial. The Kings have 2 more games against Phoenix this year, and if they want to hold that or at least tie that tiebreaker situation, they have to sweep the Suns the rest of this year. I should mention Kevin Durant plays his first home game tonight in Phoenix. That should be interesting. It's kind of crazy that it's his first home game. I feel like he's been on the team for like 2 or 3 weeks now, and he obviously sat some time before he got in, and so that's why this delay. But Suns are definitely rolling right now, and that's not a team that you want to get in front of. You don't want to be in their way down this stretch right here because they are absolutely on a mission right now. And then on Monday, just to wrap a bow on this nice little 3-game stretch, the Kings play, the best team in the NBA right now, the Milwaukee Bucks, who currently own a 13-game win streak against the Sacramento Kings. The Kings have not beaten them since 2016. Deuce, I think, told me the other day that we have not beaten the Bucks since Giannis was an all-star or was named an all-star. He was named an all-star shortly after the last time the Kings beat the Bucks. So it's been a very, very long time since the Kings have been able to take care of business against the Milwaukee Bucks. Be interesting to see. Now would be a great time for that slump to be busted. And so looking at those 3 teams, it feels like, sometimes you gotta be realistic. And, it would be great if they can win 2 or 3 of these games, but I think realistically, if you pull out one of these, you gotta take it. You just gotta say, okay, and hope that in the other performances that they show up, that they're competitive. Hopefully, maybe, possibly, we can see some defense. That'd be great. They're playing some elite talent. These are all playoff teams, not playoff caliber. These are playoff teams and some of the better playoff teams. So this is a great challenge for the Sacramento Kings right now. The Knicks, on that 9-game winning streak, they were the 2nd highest offensive rating in the league, which is surprising because you would think a Tom Thibodeau-led team would mainly be defense. But, they were no slouch defensively as well in this 9-game winning streak. They were 9th in defensive rating, 1st in net rating by a wide margin. So they have been playing the best basketball in the NBA right now. The New York Knicks, very similar to the same story as the Kings. They're really just like an East Coast Kings, really, in terms of storyline, which is crazy. So it'll be good to see that matchup. Suns, since Kevin Durant has played, they're 7th in offensive rating, 6th in defensive rating, 1st in net rating in their last 3 games. Bucks for the season are 2nd in defensive rating, 6th in net rating. So these are all 3 very, very legitimate teams. And more importantly, 3 very legitimate defenses that we will get to see because I'm very guilty of this as well. A huge criticism on the Sacramento Kings this season, or not really criticism, but just a question that's been asked is, will this offense be able to retain its explosive nature in the postseason when you're playing better defenses. The possessions, are a little bit more valued. This is a great stretch to figure that out. Playing against some of the best defenses in the NBA. And it's time to prove it. It is time to prove, not even prove, because the Kings, I shouldn't say prove, because they have absolutely proven that they are an elite offense. You don't get to the numbers that they are at without being, a legitimate thing. But now it's just time. It's a good test. It's just a really good test and a good ramp up, honestly, because this team, again, they're one of the least experienced playoff teams that's going to be in this postseason. And so games like this, if you treat them right, can be a good step stool for postseason basketball. Again, like, you're just never going to be able to fully capture a playoff atmosphere, a playoff vibe, playoff intensity, but you can at least get close and at least know what a really, really physical, intense game feels like. And the more and more that the Kings can stack those games against good opponents, the better it'll be for them in the long run. Really excited about this next segment. How early is too early to start the Light the Beam chant? We talk about that next right here on Chris and Company on Sactown Sports 1140 and SactownSports.com.
Sactown Sports is your new home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Let's go, Niners! Yeah!
Debo,
10! Debo! Touchdown!
McCaffrey,
I'm just proud to be a 49er.
CMC!
Mine! Kittle.
And it is caught by George Kittle again.
They all live here. Sactown Sports, your official home for 49ers football in the 916.
Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000. I tried to make payments.
The IRS wasn't satisfied with Eric's efforts, so they came after him full force.
They're coming to put a lien and a hold on all my income, my home, my car. I was just overwhelmed at what to do.
Then Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy like 1, 2, 3.
Optima Tax Relief is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and their team of expert tax professionals took care of Eric's problem.
I owe $15,000, and now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Take Eric's advice.
If you have a tax problem, you need to call Optima Tax now.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Live and local, it's Chris and Company with Chris Watkins on Sactown Sports.
Told Chris before the show that we're going to have to do music all by Laker fans today. So all the rejoiner music from now on will be, for today at least, will be that of Laker fans, just to, pay homage. Thank you for taking care of business for us last night. I was Anderson Paak, so there's one down. Big Laker fan. Got a song called King James. That's really the only connection that I know of him being a Laker fan, so maybe he's really not. This one I'm very excited about, and I just put a poll up in the YouTube chat. You can check us out right now on Sactown Sports. On SactownSports.com. Also on our YouTube page at youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140. I put in the chat, how many points do the Kings need to be up to comfortably start Light the Beam chants with under 3 minutes to go? 5 to 10 points, 10 to 15 points, or 15 plus points? And I bring this up because, was it Saturday's game? In one of, I think it might have been Saturday's game, Light the Beam chants rose from Golden One Center with about 5 minutes to go in the game. And Mike Brown was pretty visibly, I don't want to say upset, but he was definitely like, let's not do this right now. And it got me thinking, what are the official I don't want to say rules because I'm not going to tell anybody how to live their life, but guidelines that people should follow for when it's appropriate to start Light the Beam. I've got 5 things here, and I'm curious what y'all have to say. Chris, also feel free to chime in whenever. Number 1, it's got to be under 3 minutes. I think like if you're talking 5, if you're talking anything more than that, there's just too much time for anything to happen.
I disagree.
Really?
Yeah.
You think it can be more than 3 minutes?
I tried getting it started at the start of the 4th quarter.
You're a lunatic.
On Monday. No, it's a feel. Like you knew they weren't losing that game. What was it? 18-point lead in the 4th quarter.
It's just, I mean, feel is everybody feels like everyone's feel is different though. And like what one person's feel, again, like start of the 4th quarter, I would not be nearly comfortable. Clearly, Mike Brown's not comfortable.
So,
I just think that's a
like
lot.
if it was
so much can happen.
If it was the Clippers, if it was a different team where it's okay, they could come back at any time. I get that, but they were not losing to the Pelicans that night.
The Pelicans, that's what it was.
If I could have gotten my way, I would have started it before the game started.
See, that's the only other way is that you can like preemptively, like, yeah, like we are going to light the beam today. That's fine. But I just think you're putting a lot of pressure, and the overall theme of this list, really, which you'll get when you hear it all, is let's not embarrass ourselves. Let's not make ourselves a viral moment. Because the thing that I'm trying to avoid here is, you know, ESPN making some Instagram video of, oh, Kings fans start Light the Beam with them up 10 points with 5 minutes to go. And then here's a supercut of 8 threes that Steph Curry hits. And then the Kings lose by 5 and everyone's laughing.
See, if Steph Curry is on the floor, I will say no Light the Beam until 3 minutes to go.
Okay. That's okay. I think we figured it out. So context matters in terms of opponent does matter. So this is definitely
absolutely yes.
Okay. Opponent, I will accept that. Opponent dependent. So under 3 minutes I have, but opponent dependent. Kings, this is where the point total comes in for me. For me, this is again for me, Kings must be winning comfortably enough that you're willing to live with the embarrassment of the game going sideways. Again, kind of like what I just said, I'm just trying to avoid embarrassment here. Let's not, there's always going to be more time to start the Light the Beam chant. Okay. It's just, you know, why do it early? You know, there'll be time when we definitely know that it's wrapped up. Number 3, chants should start at a dead ball so that they go uninterrupted. There's nothing worse, in my opinion, when like you're cheering or let's say you start the Light the Beam chant, Kings hit a big 3, you start the Light the Beam chant instantly, but then the other team comes down and hits another 3, and then Scott Moak goes 3, Brandon Ingram. And it's like, it just brings the emotions down instantly. And so it's just a lot easier, you know, with the timeout, with the free throw.
And one
is perfect. That is like the most optimal, like if you're really trying to set the roof off, and one Light the Beam chant is the perfect time to do it. Number 4, I have this. This is from Mike Brown's obvious annoyance with it the other day. Must stop if players or coaching staff is visibly upset with the chant. And this one's just kind of easy. Again, like we just don't need to make this like something that gets spoiled at all. If the players, for whatever reason, are just like, you know, like we love our fans, we love our crowd, but let's just hold off on the light. Like, let's just not get there. Let's just be responsible. We'll do the Light the Beam chants when we know a win is secured. Let's not get the players and the fans on opposite sides at all. Let's just keep this fun. Let's not ruin it. Another major theme. Let's not ruin this. And number 5, this is the number 5, very important Light the Beam guideline. In the playoffs, do not do the Light the Beam chant until the final whistle is blown and a Kings win is confirmed by Adrian Wojnarowski. I need like 100% guarantee Kings win. Like I need to see the beam up in the sky, and then we can do the Light the Beam.
No, that's
again not trying to get embarrassed. I just don't in a playoff situation.
So if the Kings are up 25 with 2 minutes to go,
no,
and Luka has already fouled out, you can't
he ate
do
good
it
last night. Yeah, I hear you. I definitely hear you. It's just, if it were to start, get real tight. I would get real tight anytime the light to be in the playoffs, especially. Again, like, just not trying to get embarrassed. Maybe this is more me projecting.
Yes,
it feels like
that's out of line.
It feels like I'm projecting. Do you have any other additions or subtractions to the rules?
I'm always for
just whenever. You're just whenever. Yeah. So Chris is a maniac.
If the Kings have like a 30-point lead at halftime, start it at halftime, and then once you come, and then like once they're about to bring the ball in, start it again.
So you like, we're reaching like pompous territory at that point. Like, people are going to hate us if that's the case. Are you okay? Like,
yeah,
I mean,
I'm good with that.
That's fine. Chris is just natural evil. I'm curious what other people have to say. What do you think? When is the right time to start the Light the Beam chant? Is there a right time? Is it just a feel thing? Is it, what is it? What is it? Text in, what is it? 916-339-1140. You can also hit us up on the YouTube chat as well. Again, we have a poll up there for how many points do the Kings need to be up to comfortably start Light the Beam chants under 3 minutes. Christopher Laud says there is no time limit. You can do it whenever, as long as you're feeling the vibes. That's all that it's about. And they have to be winning though, at least, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like, you can't.
You don't do it when you're 5 down. Maybe you can
manifest it. I don't know. I mean, at that point, why can't you just manifest it?
I'm trying to think of no, because that's like no.
Just. No,
I was trying to work out a way of where it could work, and
right.
it doesn't. It
just doesn't work. If they are losing, okay, there we go. So at least we have that. That is a universal rule. The Kings have to be winning. Okay, I can live with that. Very curious.
And it's got to be more than a one possession.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It has to be more than 2 points or 3 points or whatever. Like, you have to have a comfortable lead.
Yes.
Okay. See, we're getting somewhere. We're getting progress. We'll hammer this out as the season closes up here. And I'm very curious what people have to think. So let me know your thoughts in our YouTube chat and on the text line as well. Quick hit before we go to break. Something I was thinking about as I was watching the games last night. Wolves, specifically the Wolves Sixers game. And, you look at the standings and, the East, it is very, very clear from looking at the standings that the East is the dominant conference in the NBA this season. And it's, first off, frankly, it's about time. I feel like my entire lifetime of when I'm 27 years old, I feel like my entire life has been West dominated. Really, like, since the early 2000s, you have the Shaq Kobe era, you have Tim Duncan and the Spurs. You had some LeBron time in there for sure, but even then, that kind of overlaps with the Spurs dynasty. Got the Warriors dynasty as well. I don't know if we want to call it a dynasty, but the Warriors era as well. It just feels like it's been the West League for as long as I can remember. And this is really the first year where I think it's clear and obvious that the East is just, especially up top, just a lot more talented and maybe not talented, but just better teams, tougher teams in the Eastern Conference. So far this season, the record bears it out as well. The East this season has a 195 wins to 174 losses versus the West this season. That would be a 52% win percentage, which would put the Eastern Conference right now as a 5 seed in the West, just off of their entire record against the Western Conference. So, the East has really had the entire West number this year. Surprisingly, the Kings actually have a pretty decent record against the East. They're 500, 12-12, which is the sixth best record of all the teams in the West against the East. So it's good to see that the Kings have actually fared fairly well against the East. But to be honest, when you really look at the schedule and how it all panned out, the Kings kind of have just beaten up on the bad East teams. Beaten up on the bad East teams. When you look at it, like, their quality wins that I could think of from this season against the East were they had the 2 Cleveland wins, which are legit. Cleveland's a top 4 team right now in the East. Those are 2 legitimate Eastern Conference teams that you beat. 2 times that you beat a legitimate Eastern Conference team. Brooklyn Nets earlier in the season with KD. That was the TNT game. And then they split with Miami earlier in the year as well. And Miami's like the 7th seed right now. But those are really the only quality wins, if you will, for the Kings against East opponents. They haven't been able to beat the Bucks. They play them on Monday. Haven't been able to beat the Celtics. They play them later this month. The Sixers have drummed the Kings every time they play them. And then we have the Knicks, who also destroyed the Kings in the first quarter last time they played. And that was all she wrote. I think the Kings actually beat the Knicks the rest of the 3 quarters, but the Knicks just beat the Kings down so badly in that first quarter that it was over from then. So the Kings getting a win against the Knicks on Thursday would be huge. It would just add another quality win against an East opponent, showing that this team, again, can handle some of the better teams in this league. It's going to be tough to beat the Bucks. It's going to be tough to handle the Phoenix Suns, but you know, it's a good test right now, and it's coming at a really good time because, again, Kings are not experienced, and this is how you get some feel for what it might be like later in the postseason. But the Kings are not the only team that has a tough path to the postseason. We talk about that and more coming up right here on Sactown Sports 1140 and SactownSports.com.
The only place you'll find Harrison Barnes is Sactown Sports.
He's got the bucket at the buzzer. Harrison Barnes.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Harrison Barnes, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Arnold Law Firm.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. After those morning showers fade, get ready for mostly sunny skies ahead. Highs will peak in the mid-50s. Expect overnight lows to drop off to the low 40s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how a collision can turn anyone's life upside down in a heartbeat. So remember to be a little more alert on the road and stay safe. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777.
If you are like the thousands of people that take advantage of March for replacing your heating and cooling system, then this message is for you. Hi, I'm Mario, owner of Attic Man Heating and Air, and March is the most popular month for replacing old, inefficient heating and cooling systems because of milder temperatures and end-of-winter rebates. If you've even contemplating replacing your old AC system, act now. Take advantage of up to 5 years of interest-free financing and 10-year warranties. I know, it sounds way too good to be true, but it is true. 10 years of worry-free operation, but you have to book online today at atticmanhvac.com. Attic Man Heating and Air.
You don't have to look far to be inspired at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. We take customer service to the next level. From our no-pressure sales and service to our great selection and financing options. Whether you're shopping online or in person, you'll see why our team is the #1 Honda dealer in Northern California.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claim based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own report.
Hey, you want to be around people having a great time? You need to come check out Capital Casino, offering the most varieties of table games in the region in the friendliest environment. Come for the food, which is awesome, of course, and stay and play. Conveniently located in downtown Sacramento at 411 North 16th Street. Right there in downtown Sacramento for over 20 years. Cap Casino, best food, best games, and of course, the best action. And please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Stop the madness. Stop overpaying for the same cell phone service. Simply reach for your phone to learn how to switch to Consumer Cellular and save up to $250 a year. Keep your phone and number. No contract. Activation free. Yeah, free. You'll get unlimited talk and text. Flexible data plan starting $20 a month. That's it. Consumer Cellular ranked #1 in customer service among value MVNOs 14 times in a row by J.D. Power. Choose an award-winning, 100% U.S.-based customer support team with real people behind the scenes to help you. All backed by their 100% risk-free guarantee. Find out how to start saving today with an easy phone call. Pick up your cell phone, dial pound 250 and say the keyword The Herd. Pound 250, keyword The Herd. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto dial text message from Consumer Cellular.
Hi guys, it's Mark with Coastside Medical Clinic. Are you struggling with ED and sick of the pills? Well, we have a major medical advancement that has helped thousands of men. Our WAVE technology is backed by 60 clinical studies, including from Cambridge University. It's been shown to increase blood flow by repairing blood vessels. No pills and no side effects. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED, call us now. And not only will the assessment and blood flow ultrasound be free, but we'll also include something unique that produces powerful results. You're going to love that one, guys. Trust me. This unprecedented offer is worth $600, but it's free to those who call in the next 2 minutes. Call 916-603-2000. That's 916-603-2000. Guys, put a stop to your ED and get your life back. Call Coastside Medical Clinic now to qualify. 916-603-2000. That's 916-603-2000.
On Wednesday, March 8th, for the first time ever, AEW Dynamite and Rampage make their way to the Golden One Center in Sacramento. Don't miss the fallout from Revolution and what promises to be one of the biggest shows of the year. Don't miss MJF.
I'm a generational talent.
Jon Moxley.
Get in the ring with me. It's dangerous as all hell.
Kenny Omega. The Young Bucks. Saraya.
I am the Revolution.
Bryan Danielson. Claudio Castagnoli. Jamie Hayter. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. Eddie Kingston. Orange Cassidy. The Acclaim.
Everyone loves the Acclaim.
Swerve in Our Glory. Hook. Hangman Page. Jade. FTR.
Top guys out.
Tony Storm. The Lucha Brothers. Wardlow. Darby Allin. Sting. Chris Jericho and the Jericho Appreciation Society.
And that's entertainment.
And many more will be there live. Don't miss AEW Live at the Golden One Center. Tickets are on sale now. Go to AEWTix.com now. Cards subject to change.
Coach Phil here for Kobex Construction in Roseville. So how did your roof fare in the recent storms? If there's signs of wear and tear, address it before the problem becomes bigger. Kobex Construction Group understands the importance of a strong, protective roof. The smallest leak can become the biggest problem. They provide homeowners with reliable roof repairs and replacements. Quality work and customer satisfaction is paramount to them. Get a new roof for zero down and low monthly payments. Call 800-NEW-ROOF for a no-obligation quote or visit trustcobex.com. Kobex Construction in Roseville. Do it once, do it right.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Lott with your Sactown Sports headlines. Sacramento Kings are now second in the Western Conference after the Lakers' 112-103 win over the Memphis Grizzlies last night. Kings are currently tied with the Grizzlies with 38 wins and 26 losses. For more information on the Kings playoffs race, check out Kings insider Frankie Cardoselli's piece on the Kings path to the playoffs on SactownSports.com. The Baltimore Ravens have franchise tag quarterback Lamar Jackson after neither side could come to an agreement on a long-term contract. For more information on all the franchise tag news, check out NFL insider Emil Fergosa on SactownSports.com. And now more of Chris and Co.
Sitting at your desk, watch Chris and Company now. YouTube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
I love this song so much. I'm so glad that we got to play that coming back. Another Los Angeles Laker fan, Snoop Dogg, D-O-double-G.
Is he?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's at Laker games all the time.
Really?
Yeah. Always sitting courtside.
Next thing you're going to say, like, Red Hot Chili Peppers or...
Yeah. Yeah, right. Okay. He was there. I saw Flea was there yesterday. Somebody else was there. I honestly don't know the members. I only know Flea from the Red. I know
Anthony Kiedis.
Yes, I think he was the one that was there. I'm very ignorant to musically as well, not just sports. You mentioned in your update, Chris, those articles right now on SactownSports.com. We're going to talk about that a little bit more on this segment right here. You mentioned Frankie's article where he really lays out beautifully the Kings' path to the playoffs. And I mean, you can read Frank's piece. It is incredibly detailed. Again, you can read that right now over at SactownSports.com. He's got all the information that you would ever want to know about the Kings' potential path, who might be in their way, how many games they have against teams above 500, all that stuff. We're going to talk a little bit about that right now. Frankie was actually supposed to join me today, but he left me, so it's all good. He's homesick with load management. He'll hopefully be back tomorrow for Kings versus Knicks, so hopefully he can rest up for game day. You know, we're talking about practice here. He's going to miss practice today, not a game. So we can live with that, but hope Frank's feeling better. At least he got this piece out, which is all that matters. In the piece, Frank details that, actually the Kings have a surprising amount of games against teams with, after only having 1 day rest. Over 37 games so far this season, the Kings have had on 1 day rest. They hold a 26-11 record when only having 1 day off in between games. Of their final 18, the Kings will enter the game on 1 day rest in 12 of their games remaining. So that's good to hear. They're getting the rest that they feel like they perform optimally with. They have practice today right before a game tomorrow. That's kind of been the rhythm of things all season long. So they're definitely not about to change it up right now. That's a really good record with only 1 day of rest as well. Typically, the more rest you get, you would expect that you'll perform better. But something that has been a talking point these past couple of weeks is just the fact that it seems like the Kings are playing well because they practice so much. And it's like they're just constantly in rhythm. You never really step out of playing basketball. And so you're just kind of always in basketball shape and always kind of ready to go instead of kind of letting your body rest and, take a couple days off and, you start to, you got to re-warm back up instead of you stay ready so you don't have to get ready. That's what I like to say. But in Frank's article, also he lists the Warriors and the Suns as his two teams to watch for potentially coming for the Kings spot right now. I believe Frank wrote this before it was confirmed that the Kings were the number 2 seed, but nonetheless, the Kings absolutely it's not wrapped up yet, ladies and gentlemen. Like just because we should absolutely enjoy this number 2 seed while we have it. I'm not saying that they won't hold it. I think that there's a chance that the Kings can hold strong at number 2 with Memphis in their tailspin right now. Phoenix does have some ground to cover. They're still 2.5 games behind the Kings right now, and they have to continue to win games. The Kings are sitting pretty. They did their work early in this season, and so now they're reaping the benefits of that, being able to, you see them able to rest De'Aaron Fox the other night. Now is the time where the Kings feel like is the time to maybe give De'Aaron his game off or two. Not saying that De'Aaron missed because of load management. He did miss because of a hamstring injury, which is legitimate for sure. But you can read Frankie's path to the playoffs over at SactownSports.com. Kings currently hold the 6th toughest remaining strength of schedule in the NBA right now. The Suns, like I mentioned, they have to continue to win if they want to catch the Kings. The Suns hold the 3rd hardest strength of schedule right now, and Golden State holds the 9th. So Golden State does have a little bit easier of a road, but nonetheless, they still have a tough road as well. Golden State right now is 5 games behind the Sacramento Kings at the 2 spot. They are 2.5 games behind Phoenix at 4, and Dallas last night climbed up to the number 5 seed. So keeping up with these standings is tough. We're going to talk about it in the next segment, but things are jumping day by day. The standings are changing, and it's an incredibly exciting time right now. I can't think of a time when a conference was so compact, and literally day by day, their playoff implications and people are rising and falling like they are right now. Also, you mentioned in your update, Christopher Laud, Emil Fergoso, our NFL insider, our San Francisco 49ers beat writer, recapped all of the franchise taggings from this NFL offseason. The deadline was the other day. Just want to get in real quick. Lamar Jackson signed to the franchise tag. It's a non-exclusive tag, which means that he's free to negotiate with other teams this offseason and try and get a deal done with them. However, we already have news that 4 teams are opting out and don't want Lamar's services, and that's the Falcons, the Panthers, the Washington Commanders, and the Miami Dolphins. All say that they are not interested in Lamar Jackson. It's a very interesting negotiation tactic. The Ravens and Lamar have been going back and forth for the better part of a year now, even longer than a year, trying to work out this negotiation. Lamar Jackson doesn't have an agent. He's campaigning for himself, trying to negotiate for himself, and that situation is tough to navigate because typically agents are kind of the middleman. Usually a team can tell an agent, well, your guy's just not worth that. like, that's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous offer. He's not worth that. He's not worth that to anybody. It's a little harder to say that to Lamar Jackson himself and tell him what you really think about him. That's the beauty of an agent, is that really the players don't have to hear the dark side of negotiations. They don't have to hear the reality talk of, well, yeah, Lamar's good and we really like Lamar, but he's also a skinny, mobile quarterback who is looking for a long extension here and looking to get paid a lot of money when he's really missed a lot of time. So definitely interesting negotiations there. Also should mention Saquon Barkley, Tony Pollard, and Josh Jacobs all get the franchise tag from their squads after having career years last year. Super interesting there how those will shake out. And, good for the Raiders to keep Josh Jacobs after, he kind of didn't have a choice. He just got tagged, but I think it's good for the Raiders to keep Josh Jacobs after the season he had last year. With the Kings now in the 2 seed, we need to start seriously taking interest into this Western Conference play-in race. We'll take a look at how the Western Conference is looking next right here on Chris and Company on Sactown Sports 1140 and SactownSports.com.
You wanted more Niners? Sactown Sports delivered in the biggest way. Catch every Niners game right here on the new home for 49ers football in Sacramento.
Sactown Sports.
For your everyday vehicle. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP oil filter for only $26.99. Do the complete job for the right price. Get the parts you need when you need them at AutoZone or AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Big savings are back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? We have options for everyone. Plus, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make for lower payments. It's no wonder Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not.
Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folks, there's a fast break with the game on the line. He dribbles down the court, passes ahead for the alley-oop, and it's caught for a slam dunk.
Do you need an assist? Regain and optimize your performance. See what Pacific Men's Clinic can do to make your love life the best it can be. Pacific Men's Clinic's safe and pain-free, clinically proven procedure breaks up plaque and stimulates the growth of healthy new blood vessels. Call for your free consultation now at 916-545-7577. That's 916-545-7577.
How long does it take to tackle a home project? With Angie, you could cross it off your list before this ad is over. Just tell us what you need, indoor or outdoor, repair or redesign, and we handle the rest, sending a top pro to get it done. You don't have to lift a finger, except to tap the screen or click the mouse. Plus, Angie is free to use. So bring us your next home project, and we'll bring it home. Download the app or go to Angie.com. That's ANGI.com to get started.
At the end of your first year, Discover credit cards automatically double all the cash back you've earned. That's right, everything you earned doubled. All the cash back from eating at your favorite soup dumpling restaurant doubled. All the cash back from that trip where you sort of learned to snowboard also doubled. And the best part, you don't have to do anything ridiculous to get it. Nope, Discover does it automatically. Serious though. See terms, check it out for yourself at discover.com/match.
2 minutes left. 2 minutes left. Hands up. No fouls. No fouls. Yes. Great job. Timeout. Hello, Sacramento, and all you listeners. It's Doug Christie here for the Good Feet store. Did you know that when your feet are not properly supported, your whole body can become misaligned, causing pain in your feet, knees, hips, or back? Good Feet arch supports are designed to support all 4 arches of the foot, placing the feet in their ideal pain-relieving position and aligning the body from the feet up. Good Feet arch supports come in a wide range of over 300 styles, flexibilities, and sizes, so customers can be precisely fit with the arch supports that meets their personal needs. It's one reason why Good Feet arch supports are only available at the Good Feet store. Visit the Good Feet store now for a free personalized arch support fitting and then take them for a walk. Experience for yourself the pain-relieving comfort, balance, and support of Good Feet. In Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
For a championship team, every player needs to be a perfect fit. Just like your vehicle, every part needs to fit just right. With eBay Guaranteed Fit, you can be sure every part you need fits right the first time. Just look for the green check. With over 122 million parts, you'll be back in the game in no time. Get the right parts, the right fit, and the right prices at ebaymotors.com. Let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Still overpaying for a razor? In this economy? Gross. At Dollar Shave Club, you can get a top shelf shave at a regular shelf price. We've been hawking shaving products for years online, and we're excited to bring you the same great quality and low prices at a store near you. From high-quality stainless steel blades to super smooth shave creams, Dollar Shave Club's in the business of making your shave easier. Find Dollar Shave Club in the men's razor aisle. Getting your Dollar Shave Club razor wherever you want. Isn't that great?
Keeping you company with the company. It's Chris and Company with Chris Watkins on Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Final segment. Bring you up to Deuce and Mo at 11 o'clock. Taking a look at our poll results here from earlier. We put on our YouTube poll, how many points do the Kings need to be up to comfortably start Light the Beam chants under 3 minutes? Your options, 5 to 10 points, 10 to 15 points, 15 plus points. YouTube chat, I think they're kind of siding with me where it's just like, you got to be cautious. They say 15 plus points. 53% of people say 15 plus points. 38% of people say 10 to 15. 9% of people say 5 to 10.
Calm down, guys. 15 points with 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's very comfortable. Because I was going to say 15 when I initially made the list, but I was like, again, like kind of, if there's a minute left and you're up by 8, that feels, and you have
and you've got the ball.
Yeah, it's like, okay, like we so that's where I see a lot of people in the chat upset at me for trying to, I'm not trying to tell people how to fan. I'm not trying to tell people at all, like I'm not going to yell at you for starting a Light the Beam chant. I'm just letting you know that you're probably going to get some looks.
I do like Ward on the YouTube. I like his idea.
What'd he say?
He said, can we get a Light the Beam chant tonight at the AEW event?
That would be pretty dope.
But I don't know who you would do it for.
We can do it for Powerhouse Hobbs. He was in here yesterday. That was cool. No.
We'll have to see
if he would have to win, right? That would have to be part of it. I like what Cole G in the YouTube chat says, let Deli be the beam captain. I agree. Just like let Deli, he's no disrespect. Deli's probably going to be on the bench for closing time. It's, in that clutch time range. He should be on the bench. Once Deli stands up, kind of gives us the
he should just like give like a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Like a slow thumbs up.
Light the beam, mate. Light that. Yeah, that would be great. I love that. Again, not trying to tell anybody how to fan, but just suggesting some things. You know what I do think we need though, and I've been thinking about this. I'm trying to workshop it. We need somebody who's like artistically inclined. Like we need a chant, like a legitimate, like a soccer chant. Like how incredible, how good would Golden One Center be if we can get like a legit, like how soccer, stadiums can get when an entire crowd.
I have been saying that since Arco.
Really?
Not happening.
Yeah, it's just
not there. I do know even there was like a group of fans that got like a group section that tried to get it going.
Yeah.
Like, cause that's how you would really get it going.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It just doesn't happen.
You would definitely, and I think we broadcast to a wide audience here. Maybe we're the ones who have to get that thing started. But but there's also never been anything to really, we had the Here We Stay stuff. Maybe that could have been it. But like you can do something, like there's a central topic that you can at least do a chant about, like if we can get light the beam, something like that. I mean, that's obviously
okay. Actually, I do like that one.
Something like that. Like we can get, again, like if my girlfriend makes music, maybe I'll ask her to mock something up. But I need somebody who's musically inclined.
Now that I think about it, there would need to be a song that ends with the chant, so you could play the song and then the fans do the chant afterwards.
Right. Kind of like how it's like the same way they do the defense kind of thing. Like that would, yes, we need to work on this. This is the goal. We're going to work on this by playoff time. We're going to have something that we can hopefully get into works. Let's take an eye on the West to see how the standings have shaken up after last night's craziness.
Where are the Kings in the standings?
Sometimes a team which no one expects to finish near the top of the standings does finish that way. And fans are not only surprised, they want to know why.
Who's moving up? Who's falling down? And who should embrace the tank? It's Eye on the West with Chris and Company.
Yes, sir. Mentioned last night, Los Angeles Lakers took care of business for the Sacramento Kings, beat the Memphis Grizzlies, moved the Kings up to number 2 in the West. We love that. Kings have not been the number 2 seed in the West at a significant portion, besides like the first week of the season. I looked this up. I had to go into the date. Basketball Reference has a standings by date thing. I went back every single year and looked at the standings. I'm not joking. Kings have not been at this spot since April 11th, 2004. That is ridiculous. So today is pretty much the best day in Kings lore for the past 19 years. Love that. Love that. Glad to be broadcasting here today. The Kings weren't the only ones who rose or fell in the Western Conference standings last night. It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. Last night, risers and fallers from yesterday. Memphis, obviously, with the Kings moving up to 2, fell down to number 3. Dallas got the win yesterday over Utah. They jumped from number 7 to number 5. OKC last night surprised the Golden State Warriors. Warriors continue to struggle on the road. Absolutely incredible. The Warriors, let's get this. Warriors are 7-25 this year on the road. They have to be partying or something on that is that is horrible. And they're 27-7 at home this year. So it's strange that they're literally a completely polar opposite team on the road. So the Warriors with the loss last night also fall from number 5 to number 6 with Dallas moving into that 5 spot. The Wolves fell from 6 to 7 after losing to Philly last night. Utah fell from number 9 to number 13 in those standings. And again, we have to remember, ladies and gentlemen, we have to pay attention to the play-in now. Now that we're the number 2 seed, the play-in tournament determines our opponent. If in the most useless exercise, if the playoffs were to end right now. If the playoffs were to end right now, the Kings would play the winner of a 7-8 series that at the moment would be Wolves versus Clippers, but both of those teams are half game back of the 5 and 6 spot Dallas Mavericks and Golden State Warriors. So it is going to be super, super duper interesting how the Western Conference shakes out the rest of this year. And, if you want to know how it shakes out on the day-to-day basis, keep it locked right here, Chris and Company, every single day, Monday through Friday at this time from 10 to 11 a.m. That's going to be all I have for today. Thank you so much for keeping me company. Coming up next, Deuce and Mo, right here on Sactown Sports 1140 and SactownSports.com.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area coordinates,